Hey, this is Elissa Shuck of ES Strategic Life Coaching. If you really want to learn how to level up your life, you should be listening to the Time to Shine Today podcast with my friend Scott Ferguson.
Welcome, Time to Shine Today podcast squad. It is Scott Ferguson, and I am super happy to be bringing you my interview that I did with Elissa Shuck from ES Strategic Services. And Elissa started in 4 different businesses, got promoted through businesses. At times, she was told that she went as high as she could in a company, and she just kind of called bullshit and said, listen, I'm pushing forward, and I'm not going to kowtow to the corporate culture. So she went out, started her company, ES Strategic Services, where she helps people level up their life, find what they're good at, and how they can contribute and get it out and pay it forward. So sit back, relax, break out your notebook, and here comes my friend, Elissa Shuck. Hey, Time to Shine squad. It is Scott Ferguson with the Time to Shine Today podcast. And I am super privileged to be able to interview Elissa Shuck. And if you would like to increase your performance by 70% and increase and 57% and improve business management, would that help your bottom line up? Yeah, it would. So would you like a fun place to work that creates opportunity for employee engagement? So why not ensure the return on investment by including professional development and helping your employees experience a sense of purpose alongside those potlucks and ping pong tables? Elissa has always loved working. During her career, she transitioned industries 4 times and achieved 12 promotions. Wow, that's awesome. As a coach, Elissa curated all the principles, techniques, and tools to help her clients discover their strengths, develop their potential, and experience real purpose. So wow, what strong credentials. And she's a real, she gets results. So Elissa, come on here and please say hi to the Time to Shine Today squad and tell us your favorite color and why.
Ooh, wow. Hi, everybody. Gosh, I'm so excited. Thank you so much, Scott, for having me on. Okay, my favorite color is green. And the reason I love green is because, well, of course, lots of colors come in lots of shades, but green is very natural. It's very lively. It's refreshing. I think it's just a life-giving color. So I think it resonates with me for that reason. And also because, in a way, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to help people do life better. So, with green as the backdrop, why not?
And green is like growth, right? It's like
Yeah,
shows blooming and it shows growth, and that's what you're helping
absolutely.
people do to increase that ROI. So tell
Yeah.
us a little bit about ES Strategic from the origins. Actually,
Okay,
you know
cool.
what? I digress. Tell us about your career in transitioning 4 times and then the promotions. Then we'll get into ES Strategic.
Okay, all right. Well, the career transitions 4 times. A couple of those were absolutely my choice in the sense that I set a goal for myself. I knew that, well, let's say the first one. The first one, I was working in retail and I went to a job performance review and my manager, it was a great review. He was very appreciative, hard worker, all that stuff. But he said, I think you've gone as far as you can go in this company.
Wow.
That was not the thing to say to me. Um, and within 90 days, I was gone
Okay.
because I just decided, okay, I love this industry, but I don't want to hit a ceiling. And so I stayed in retail, but I completely transitioned. I went from um, someone who worked with people building custom homes and picking out their fine, fancy toilets and sinks and cabinet hardware to selling shoes at Nordstrom
Okay.
because I saw the opportunity at Nordstrom for growth, for opportunity, for elevating my career. So that was one transition. Another one was because the company was in trouble and they downsized about 20% of the workforce.
Wow.
And I was one of the people that got sent out. And so that was not by choice. A third one was because the company I helped start as a co-founder got acquired, and ultimately they felt they had my role covered in their infrastructure. And
Wow.
so my time there was on a 1-year contract, and then I moved on. So, it can be a variety of reasons why people want to transition. Like I said, it could be a goal. Um, but a lot of times, especially nowadays, I think it's kind of a forced decision, and it's definitely something that if you're not careful can really kind of shake you down to your bones and cause a lot of pain and self-doubt if you don't know how to bounce back.
I love that. So when you transition, there's always that time where you're just like, oh crap, but
Yeah.
you're always forward thinking and failing forward, like we
Yeah.
like to say here at Time to Shine. So give us the origins of ES Strategic, please.
Okay, well, ES Strategic started because I, first of all, participated in an awesome survey called Clifton Strengths. And I bought a book called Strength Finders 2.0, and it
I took
had
that
this,
test. Yep.
yeah, it had that, you had that little code in the back of the book. You go online, you take the test, and it revealed to me my top 5 strengths, which are strategic, responsibility, maximizer, positivity, and developer. And everything about that narrative said to me, wow, now I understand why I love helping people. Now I understand why always on the teams that I led, it was all about helping people achieve their full potential. That I knew as a leader that if my people were empowered to do a great job, they were going to make me look good. That was just going to be a byproduct. If they're doing well, I was going to do well. And so what StrengthsFinder did was really create a picture of why I gravitated towards that leadership behavior, if you will, in addition to, plenty of other things, John C. Maxwell and
Mm.
other types of books and um, professional and personal development type things that I had done. But that was the first thing that really kind of ignited something in me that I need to do something with this. So I just started to look for opportunities to help people. And I came across an amazing tool by a company called PDP Global. It was another strengths evaluation tool, but it went way deeper than that. And when I took that and I had that aha moment again, that was, holy cow, this is who I am. Now I've got this telling me, and I've got strength finders telling me this is what I should be doing. I just decided to start ES Strategic so that I had a platform and a business with which to reach out to people and really, coach and develop and, help people achieve their full potential.
Tell us about that first client that came aboard as ES Strategic, because that's always the
Ah,
one everyone wants to hear about. It's the hardest.
yeah,
It is.
yeah, it is. It is the hardest. Well, what's interesting is I find that if you just, and this is what I've done. I'll be really honest. I haven't done any Facebook advertising. I haven't done any. Um, Everything that happens to me in my coaching business happens organically because I'm putting myself out there, and I do like what Gary Vee says, and that's just adding value. That's just, how can I help people discover something about themselves and do something differently? And so, yeah, that first client um, came to me and said, "I think you can help me." I said, "Well, what do you want to do?" She had an idea of a direction she wanted to go, but she didn't know how to get there because she had, for the most of her life, been a working at home mom and doing some real estate and some other things. But she said, I have this vision of what I could do. And we sat down together, and I just looked at her and I said, I can absolutely help you. So that's really where it comes from,
Okay.
is really giving people, I think, putting yourself out there, not being afraid to do things like this, to get on a podcast, to do a live. And when people see what you have to offer, if it resonates with them, they will come to you.
Excellent. I love that. And what I wanted to kind of share with the squad out there is she's organically building it. She's getting out and giving value to people and not just going and really asking for business. It's kind of like what she said with Gary Vee, where it's kind of jab, 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 right hook.
Yep.
And so, that's where, like, I am always telling you, squad, that, it's all about giving, being a go-giver, and pressing forward with helping people. So, Elissa, what do you think makes a great coach?
Well, what I think makes a great coach is someone who has the ability to show people their mind, show people how the way they think and the process they use for making decisions is affecting their life. So it could be that you think you're behaving a certain way, but in actuality, it's, I like to say it's not the fluffy woo-woo stuff,
Sure.
because I believe in positive thinking. I believe in a positive mental attitude, if you will. But there's science behind this. The first person I learned the science about how the brain works was Lewis Tice in his organization, the Pacific Institute.
Right.
And when I was at Nordstrom, so this goes way back. I'm not going to tell you how old I am. This goes back. Nordstrom helped us as leaders grow by having us participate in one of his programs called Investment in Excellence.
Okay.
And this is where I learned about the reticular activating system and neural pathways, and how we have a choice in what we bring into our lives based on our physiology and based on our approach to things. So, that a good coach shows people that you don't have to be trapped in your current way of processing and deciding, and whether that is your mindset about money, whether it's a mindset about your health, that you get to decide. Go ahead.
No, please.
Yeah, another one I really like is the book by Viktor Frankl called Man's Search for Meaning.
Got it right over here on my bookshelf.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
you know how powerful that
Yeah.
book is.
Yeah.
And again, that is a process I use in my coaching, where you can say to someone, just like Victor says, there is that space. There's that little space between what you think and how you act on it or how you respond to it, that if you pay attention to your mind, you can decide, what is the meaning of this situation? What am I going to do in this situation? So I love that. I love helping people get off the treadmill of thinking that this is just the way life is because it's the way I've always done it, and finding a new way.
So I'm hearing no cookie cutter approach. So you're actually digging in to everybody's uh, life, for lack of a better term, in their situation, and then devising a program for them that is going to help them excel and grow. Correct?
Absolutely. Yep.
Okay, I love
Absolutely.
that. So you went out. You have all these the we'll call them jobs. You had all of those, and you went out on your own here with ES Strategic. What did your family think of that?
Well, I have an incredibly supportive husband. He is someone that he keeps me grounded, because one of the things about my nature is I love variety. If you think about Tony Robbins and the six human needs,
Mm-hmm.
I have a really strong need for variety. So um, that could be a really awesome thing, because it means I can take on anything that comes my way, but it also means that sometimes I can fall into the next shiny object.
Scatterbrain, puppy
Yeah,
brain, right? Yeah.
scatterbrain mode. So,
Yeah.
yeah, um, he helps me stay grounded, and he's really the person that sees that possibility in me as well. So and I grew up with a dad who just said, you can do anything. So I
Fantastic.
was fortunate. I didn't have a lot of pushback from family when I decided to go on my own. I know for a lot of entrepreneurs that can be a challenge, and that is, that's something that, when I work with entrepreneurs, we definitely address that. How much weight are you going to give to that versus working on your own process of disconnecting from that feedback and doing what you want.
Wow, that's strong, and that's great that you have a family that's supportive like that. That's key, and that's just awesome. So you have had You changed industries 4 times. You've achieved 12 promotions. What would the Elissa of today, if she could go back in time and meet the 21-year-old Elissa, or even just write a letter to her, what would she tell her? Because you've experienced a lot. So what would you
Yeah.
tell that up-and-coming Elissa?
Yeah, I would say, um, you've got this. That any challenge that comes your way, you are going to find a way to get on the other side of it. That you're going to find uh, within yourself the emotional resilience you need, the tenacity that you need, and when you stumble, ask somebody for help. Don't try to go it alone. And a lot of times, my help was a book of, okay, this is what I'm going through. I want to be a better leader. So let's read John C. Maxwell's book, 21 Essential Qualities of a Leader. So I fed myself with a lot of things that help. Now I have my own life coach because I want to accelerate my career as a coach. So the best thing is that it's going to be okay. You can find a way if you seek out um, the resources to do that, and yeah, you'll come across surprises, but usually on the other side, it's better than you imagined.
So you're telling her really to kind of set up her own mastermind in a sense for
Yeah,
I have books that are just right back here that I'll turn to. If I'm in a certain situation, I know what book I'm going to open. And Viktor Frankl's sitting right here to my left. So it's like
yeah,
he's at my round table. It's funny that you had brought up Man's Search for Me. It's not funny, but it's amazing that, great minds and whatnot. But you've did a lot to get you to the point where you're at now. You've hired the life coach, you've changed industries, you're growing ES strategic. What's the one big thing you want to accomplish in life?
the one big thing I want to accomplish in life is changing lives, of helping people realize that you are full of untapped potential, and no one else can do what you can do in the world.
So you
So
want to
we
change
really,
lives.
yeah, we kind of owe it to ourselves to find ourselves, find what we're good at, find the way we want to contribute, and get it out there. So,
Love it.
opening people's eyes to that, and giving them meaningful transformation. That's what I want to do. That's my
Gotcha.
big goal.
That's funny. We kind of align there too. That's why I'm kind of moving into the speaking world, because I want to get it out of my head, over my lips, and into words. And that's what my big thing is. So I think that you're thinking that is as well. You're thinking big, and you want to help as many people as you can. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's take your cell phone out of this equation. What's the 3 things that you can't live without?
Oh, wow. Okay. 3 things I can't live without. Well, I would definitely have to say my family. Um, I would also say, um, gosh, I think cell phone out of it, I need those connections to people. So I think about, I'm old enough to know that there was a time where we didn't have cell phones as a way to connect with people. So you just have to go out there into the world and connect with people. So I'd have to have a a way to get out and hang out and be with people and interact with them. So that would be number 2. And number 3, wow.
It's okay to say chocolate or something like that. I'm
Yeah.
just kidding. I'm like chicken wings is my third, so it's like I'm all about the chicken.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I guess almond roca at Christmas time.
There
Let's
you
make
go.
that my third one. I had a hard time finding it this last year. It was driving me crazy.
I love that. I love it. So, tell me your definition of a life well lived.
Oh, wow. A life well lived is a life of no regrets. One of those transitions was a company I worked for. We were the U.S. division of a German company. The German company had gotten acquired by an English company, and the future looked really bright. Like, we thought, oh my gosh, we've got all these great resources. It's going to be amazing. Well, the German company was purchased because the market was in tough shape. And ultimately, what happened is the parent company shut operations down worldwide. Well, we had a chance at that moment. Myself, the president of the U.S. division, he called me and said, "Okay, I just got let go. So here we are. I want you to start a company with me. Let's do this thing." I mean, this is like you're probably going to be the next one to go. So the life of no regrets is I had no idea where we were, how we were going to get the money for that company, how we were going to get it going. But in the end, I knew I had to go for it. And I knew I would find the resources within myself. So for me, that's a life well lived, where you take the chances that resonate with you, and you believe in yourself, because when you have that belief in yourself, that translates to other people, and that opens doors. That's your brain working for you. That when you get a vision of it, then your brain has a way of creating harmony and opening those doors and opportunities for you.
Vibration together, right?
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
I was going to kind of end there, but I got to ask you something. You had made all of these transitions, and person told you that you went as high as you could in a company. What do you think is the one thing then that people misunderstand about Elissa?
Oh gosh, that's a good one. I think they maybe misunderstand the depth with which I believe in people.
Wow. Did you hear that, squad? That's amazing. Wow.
Because I think the times that I've been exited out, that were making a mistake they didn't know they were making, because they didn't have a clear picture of how I elevated the room. And by doing that how I brought people up to a level of excellence.
Beautiful.
That they didn't maybe even know they had in them.
Okay. And so we're going to move in. That's amazing. That's fantastic. I even wrote that down, the depth with which she believes in people. That's amazing. Okay. Let's move into what we call, as we wind stuff down, the lightning round, the level up lightning round.
Okay.
Okay. So you and I could have 20-minute conversation on each one of these questions, but you got 10 seconds, and I'm going to time you. I'm kidding.
All right.
So seriously, 7 to 10 seconds. So are you ready?
Yep.
What's the best leveling up advice you've ever received?
The best leveling up advice I've ever received is to look at your past accomplishments and relive them in the current moment.
God, I love that. Okay. Wow. Share one of your personal habits that contributes to your success.
One of my personal habits is every day. I wish I could say it was every morning, but at least at some point during the day, I write down 4 transformational thoughts. The question I ask myself is, where is the transformation today? And I write down 4 things.
Love it. Other than your website, and of course, Time to Shine Today's website, what's one other website that you go to level up your life? Or
LinkedIn.
Love it. There, leave it at that.
Easy peasy.
There you go. Outside of Maxwell and Viktor Frankl, recommend another go-to book that you would pick up.
I love Tony Robbins' Awaken the Giant Within. It's an older book.
Sure.
And it's ridiculously thick, but it's powerful.
It's powerful.
If you implement half of it, you're going to change your life.
I'm sorry, I'm digressing away from the lightning round. Same thing in 1998, I picked it up, and it changed everything. It did. It's amazing. So pick that book up. It'll be in the show notes, people. Favorite charity or organization you love to support?
I did a little bit of work for an agency. One of my goofy things I do is volunteer doing some marketing and different kinds of creative. That's my creative outlet on a platform called Catch a Fire. And recently an organization that I did some work for was called the One Life Foundation.
Okay,
Based
One Life.
in Philadelphia, and they help families, they help generations of people get out of poverty and homelessness. It's an
Love it. I've
incredible
heard of them.
organization.
All right, last one. What's the best decade of music? 60s, 70s, 80s, or 90s?
Ooh, I'm going to get in trouble for this one. Well, I have to say 80s. I
Okay.
can't help it.
No?
I'm a huge U2 fan. They're probably
Okay.
my
Oh,
favorite band of
there
all
you go.
time. They were, that's their decade, I think, when they were
Oh,
at
yeah.
their peak.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, I'm probably going to have to say 80s.
There you go. I'm a product of the 80s, 70s, and 80s, so absolutely.
Yeah, me too.
So before we end, leave our squad with one knowledge nugget you want them to take with them.
Ooh, okay, that's a good one. Let's see. Let me think. I guess the knowledge nugget that I would leave them with is that your thoughts create your results.
Wow.
When you think something and then and that thought creates a good feeling, that good feeling leads you to actions that will take you where you want to go and get the results that you want to get. There really is, and again, like we said earlier, it's not the power of positive thinking, but it's that internal motivation that you can change your mind. You can decide.
Love it.
Where you want to go.
You hear that, squad? That's awesome. So thoughts create you results, and the good thoughts create good feelings, which will take you where you want to go. That's fantastic. Okay, so how can we find you?
Well, you can find me on LinkedIn as Elissa Shuck. I also have a page on Facebook. My page name is Strategic Elissa. And then my website is es-strategicservices.com. And you can find me there. I've got a blog and on there where I post articles, how to deal with a difficult boss, how do your shoes help your confidence, some
That's great. I've read a few of them, so they're really
interesting
good.
Things like that. So yeah, those are the places to find me, and I would absolutely love to connect with anybody that reaches out.
I love that. And a squad, listen, we just got some serious knowledge nuggets dropped onto us by my friend Elissa, and loves and believes in helping people. She's a total go-giver. She believes in changing lives for the better. And I'm just going to say it again, what she said: thoughts create your results. Good thoughts equal good feelings, which will take you where you want to go in helping people. She's full of love for family, people, and connection, and of course, almond roca. Boom. So as we always say, surround ourselves with people that are staying humble, staying hungry, that are vibing great, that level up their health, level up their wealth on a daily basis. And Elissa, thank you so much, because you're encapsulating all of that. So thank you so much. I'm grateful. I'm humbled that you came on to our podcast and put your awesome knowledge nuggets out to our squad.
Oh, thanks, Scott. I really appreciate the opportunity. It's a great honor.
Awesome. Have a great day.
All right. Thanks.
Hey, thanks so much for listening to this episode of Time to Shine Today podcast. Proudly brought to you by Sutter & Nugent Real Estate Excellence, who can be reached at 561-249-7266 and online at www.sutterandnugent.com. If you're a business owner or professional who would like to be interviewed on Time to Shine Today, please visit timetoshinetoday.com/guest. If you like this episode, please subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or wherever you get your podcasts. There's a link in the show notes to our website. Also there, you will see our recommended resources. We hope that you will support our show by supporting them. If you like what you've been listening to, it'd be great if you could just give us a 5-star rating and tell your friends how to subscribe while you're at it. I'm your host, Scott Ferguson, and until next time, let's level up. It's our time to shine.